Okay, hello everyone. In this video, we're going to learn how to multiply and divide by 10, hundreds, and thousands. Sometimes you could have whole numbers, and sometimes we could have decimals. According to know, like table 10, it was easy for everyone to memorize table 10 because whenever we say like a number times 10, we know just we put zero, like 7 times 10 is 70, 4 times 10 is 40, 5 times 10 is 50, 9 times 10 is 90, and so on. So when you multiply like the number, which is 432, you multiply by 10. So you're not going to do any new job. You just the same 432, but you put zero to it. And now to read it, as we learned previously in how reading numbers, it will be 4,320. And when you multiply by 100, it's the same idea, but you're just going to do add two zeros. And you read it like 43,000 and 200. When you multiply by 1,000, it's also the same idea, which is going to be 432, and then you put three zeros, and you read it like 432 thousands. When we divide by 10 or 100 or 1,000, and we do division. Like when we do division for whole numbers, we're just going to add a decimal point. Okay, this decimal point, we put it according to numbers of zeros in the number. Like we see the zeros on that number, how many? Like when divided by 10, that is mean we have got 1 0. So we could put decimal point after like one digit. Okay. And then when we divide by 100, we put decimal point after two digits, and so on. Like when we say this number here, for example, like 432 divided by 10. So the answer is going to be what? It's going just to be like 43.2. And remember, you put decimal point from the ones you're going bigger. Like the first digit on the right, you count to the left to one, and then you put your decimal point. Like you just like here, you go one and you put decimal point. When we divide by 100, okay, we could write the same number as it is, like 432. And remember, you need to put decimal point after two digits. When I say after two digits, like you're gonna count from right going to left, like 1, 2, and then put your decimal point. When you divide by 1,000, okay, it's the same idea. You just count three places. Like you're going to do what? Like you write the 432, like you count 1, 2, 3, put your decimal point, and you need to put zero. This zero is not counted, but it is just like what? Like to make the decimal point look so clear in our question, and that's it. Because sometimes like when you say just point without making the zero, the decimal point, it will not be that much clear. Okay, so we just do put that zero. Okay, so we have got after that, like when we multiply by one digit, okay, we still stick on the same idea. This will be 70, and this will be like what? 700. We put two zeros to it, and this will put three zeros. It's going to be 7,000. Okay, when we divide by 10, and we have 7 divided by 10. 7 divided by 10, it's a 7. We count one digit, and we put the 7 point, and this will be 0.7. But when we divide by 100 and we have only one digit, what are we going to do? We're going to count to one digit, like 1. We need to put decimal point after two digits. I don't have another digit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put 0 to count it as 2, and then put my decimal point, and then we put this 0. The same idea when I divide by 1,000, and I have only one digit, I count 1, I don't have another digit, I put 0 to count it as 2, and I put 0 to count it as 3, and then put my decimal point, and this will be 0.007. And this how is dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000 will be. All you need to do just what? You need to put your decimal point according to number of the zeros of the 10 or the power of 10. When we say power of 10, we mean 100, 1,000, and so on. So, and how these things is done. So let's see regarding like when we have decimal already, and we need to multiply or divide by 10, 100, and 1,000. What are we going to do? Okay. Look at our questions over here. Like if we have 56 or 7.56 times 10. When you have decimal point, your decimal point will jump only one place to the right. Like it was 7.56. When you multiply by 10, the decimal point from here will jump to the right one place. Is going to be 75.6. And this one, it is 7.56. When you multiply by 100, it is 7.56. When you multiply by 100, your decimal point jump from here two places. 1, 2, okay, and the decimal point will be here. And when it is 0.0, because you don't have a number, you don't need to write the decimal point because there is no number after the decimal point. But here, when we multiply by 1,000, our number is 7.56. And we need to move this decimal three places. I count 1, 2. I don't have a third place, so you put 0. So it will be 7,560. So this is how we just put decimal point or we move decimal point when we have it and we multiply by 10, 100, and 1,000. Let's see when we are dividing. Like when we're dividing this number by 10, decimal point is already here, we'll move to the left. Like it's going to be 36.27. And remember, number after decimal point, we don't read it 27. We read it 27. If you would like to read it 27, you should say 27 hundredths because it's two digits. This one, like also decimal point will jump two places. You have only 7, 3 will go to the right two places, but you have one digit, which is 2. So for the other digit, I put 0. It's going to be, looks like that. Or sorry, here we need to move decimal point to the left. It will go to the left two places. It's going to be 0.732. Because it was here, it will go 1, 2 places, and then decimal point will be, because this is what? This is division. When we divide by 1,000, we move decimal point to the left, like 3 places. We have 58.36. We need to move decimal point and we take it to the left, like 1, 2. We don't have 3, we put 0, and then we put our decimal point and 0 here. So that is mean when we multiply by 10 or 100 and 1,000, decimal point moves to the right according to number of zeros. And when we divide, decimal point moves to the left according to numbers of the zero. If you have only two places and you don't have a third place at any time, you put 0 for it. That's all for multiplying and dividing by 10 and powers of 10. And thank you and see you in another video.